Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Benjamin Tan, and there's also my colleague Serge Wolf here. And we're going to talk about RBS and the journey they took with the value stream integration. Now, a short introduction about myself. Let's see if that works here. So we come from this part of the world here. And to be more precise, as we mentioned, from Switzerland. And in Switzerland, our company is located in Zurich. I started my career as a software engineer. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I came into testing and still there testing. So let's have a look at the agenda. I'm going to start off with a short introduction about our company and our partner, Tasktop, as well as, of course, our client, RBS. And then we'll dive a bit more into what is a value stream, just to explain you a bit the background of this. And then we'll continue with the journey through the test management tools at RBS. And this will then, in the end, focus on the value stream integration we did there. And then we'll see about the key findings we got from this. Okay, Infometis. So we're actually a very small company, and we were founded in 1998, so that is now exactly 20 years ago, so we have kind of an anniversary this year. So happy to be here. And so what did we do in these 20 years, actually? Now, we started off as a software engineering company, and but after the .com bubble burst, we continued to focus our services on helping our clients implementing and testing their software. Now, around 2010, we got to know Tosca for the first time, and there we started to be very interested in this tool. So we were so convinced that in 2011, we became the first Tosca certified implementation partner in Switzerland. And we didn't stop there, actually. We continued to also build add-ons for Tosca. So one of our most famous add-ons, you could say, is for a banking system called Avaloq, and it allows you to automate that banking system. We'll see a bit more about that later on. And so we produced also some other products, and in 2016, we also became the best implementation partner. We got that kind of award for the first time. I think it existed for the first time. And we didn't stop there, actually. We also continued to be a certified implementation partner in 2017 and also reached, as one of few companies, I think, the level 2 of this certification. And last but not least, we also founded our Infometis Academy, which focuses on giving on-site trainings about Tosca and Agile. Okay, let's continue with our partner, Tasktop. Maybe you've heard about Tosca Connect, which is an integration tool which supports up to more than 50 tools, actually. And the company that created that software is actually Tasktop. And we also got to know Tasktop through Tosca Connect. And I think about 2 or 3 years ago, we also became an implementation partner. Actually, the first one and the only one in Switzerland at the moment. Now, we also have a lot of other partners, which I don't go into detail here. Just we focus, of course, on Tosca, as well as on Jira and environment management add-ons and test management add-ons for Jira, as well as Selenium. Okay. So let's have a look at our client, the Royal Bank of Scotland. Now, the Royal Bank of Scotland is one of the biggest banks in the world, actually, and it has around 80,000 employees and was founded in 1727, so quite a while ago. Now, our focus will be on the private banking service part. This is where we did our value stream integration, and they actually serve the biggest private banks like Coutts & Co., which is also the bank of the Queen of England, by the way, and Adam & Company, and also NatWest. And so let's see what private banking services actually is. They are a company located actually, a daughter company located actually in the UK as well as in Switzerland, around 800 employees, and their focus is mainly on the Avaloq banking system. Now, the Avaloq banking system, in case you don't know about it, it's one of the biggest core banking systems in the world for private banking, and yeah, that's what they deliver more or less. And we also have a focus on the e-banking part there. Now, the private banking services has also a test management team. There's around 20 people that not only focus on test management, but also on test automation. So we're actually working a lot with Tosca there. And we created around 1,200 automated test cases in Tosca. Okay, so we're finished with the introduction. Let's have a look at what exactly is actually a value stream. Now, I have to admit, at the first time I heard this expression, I also wasn't sure what to tell about this, actually. So I went and Googled for it and found then this expression here. Now, don't worry, it's not kind of strange drug we're talking about here. It's actually lean software development. But I still think the colors fit to that term, so yeah. Probably some of you know lean software development. It originally came out of the Toyota production systems around in the 70s, and they're focusing on continuously improving processes now for the car manufacturing, but of course then in lean software on software development. It has around 7 principles, but I don't focus much on those. I just want to pick out some things that I found about lean here. One part was that the value you want to create is defined by your customer. So everything else that the customer doesn't define is actually waste for you. And another thing is that you need to have visualized your value stream, and in order to find bottlenecks in your value stream and improve it. And the third thing that I found very important is also that you continuously then improve this value stream. Now, another thing that came up out of the Toyota production system is this here. Maybe you know it, Kanban. Does anybody know it here? Good. So what you actually here have is really you have your values inside your Kanban tasks, which then actually flow over as a stream throughout your board from left to right, so going from to do, in progress, to done. So this is kind of a value stream actually, right? Now, what many people don't realize, actually, you do this normally on a team level, right? But actually, Kanban is originally built for organizations. So to further introduce this a bit, I would like to show you the Kanban flight levels, which is something Dr. Klaus Leopold introduced into Kanban. That's I'd say, one of the biggest gurus in Europe about Kanban. So we have there 3 levels, actually. The first level focuses, as I said, on the team level, having your normal Kanban board. Then we have the second level, actually, which focuses on the coordination between the teams. Now, this is the interesting part, actually, so we'll focus later on this part. But just to finish this picture, there's also a third level on the strategy level, on the portfolio management level. On all these 3 levels, you can actually do and use Kanban to improve your organization. So, as I said, let's look at the second level. Now, this is about coordinations between the team. And as you see here in the picture, you're starting first with the customer. So he defines, as I said, the value you want to create, and then sends it into your organization. And this goes then not into one team. I mean, it's not only one team. There are several teams involved in your value generation. And goes from team to team, adding more and more value to your product until it finally is finished and comes back to the customer. So this is, this is really the value stream you're having inside of your company. And continue on that one. So if you look at that, now this is kind of only half of the truth. What you also see here, you just see the values on your board, but actually the values you're having is inside of your tools. So these tools are actually what you need to focus on and start your value stream integrations. Now this is a bit of a high level thing. Actually all these tools are not from left to right, it's more like a network you have to think about, where all the information flows between your tools. And yeah, so that's where we then going to start with the journey with RBS. My colleague Serge will kind of play a bit the role of RBS and give you a bit about a few hints about what challenges we had. What was our first challenge then?
Yeah, actually, as you know, we do testing, and to do testing, we need to have test cases, and for test cases, you need test data. And as we are a big bank, test data, that's crucial, and we need to have it. So the easiest way, I think, we just copy a production system.
Yeah, well, that sounds a bit like Facebook. Like they also copied the production system, but that didn't end up very well. So maybe do another approach. And we actually from Infometis also offer another add-on called Tommy, which is a Tosca Avalok migration API. And what it does, it actually creates synthetic test data. So we offered this to RBS and started implementing it. Now
Sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds good, right? So I'm just going to go very shortly through it. What happens actually, Tommy goes into the Avalok database, gets the data structure, not the data structure out of it, and creates a test sheet, if you've seen that already before, to create test data in the end. And there you fill out your instances, so you fill out what test cases you want to create. This will then create test cases, also through Tommy. And these test cases, if you run them, that's a special part, you will actually get the test data back into your database, into your banking system, and also into the test data management part of Tosca. Yeah, so we built that up, and RBS was quite happy about it, and so they decided to extend my contract.
Of course we did. We need more of that.
So, well, that was the first challenge we kind of did. Now to the second one, the private banking system was still working actually with HBQC, and they were still in waterfall mode, project mode, kind of like that, right? And but what more and more came up actually was that there were Agile projects coming. So, and now what problems did we have there?
Yeah, actually, our test management system was kind of slow. Don't know who of you worked with HBQC or work still with HBQC? None or some? Yeah, and we needed to have something more faster, connecting with other tools. Maybe faster and cheaper would be cool. And something that supports Agile and waterfall projects because we kind of need to support both. Is there something?
Yeah, so in the end, we just need to pick up another tool. Let's look at the test management tool landscape we then did. Well, the tool we picked up was Jira. Now Jira, well, it was just more flexible. It was more into Agile in the end. You have a marketplace where you can add add-ons to it. So that was a good choice. Just one thing we were missing was, of course, test management.
Oh, but that's easy. So just go marketplace, go top, download it, test management add-on, and we just pick that.
Yeah, well, sounds always easy. So actually, we did it kind of like that. Yeah. We chose Zephyr, which is also a good test management tool, actually. We ran with that for 1 year, but noticed over time our requirements kind of changed. So the focus was more about reporting then, and we didn't like the way it did that. So we came up with another tool. We did some evaluations, and finally we found X-ray. Good. And yeah, it offers us much more, at least more flexibility in terms of reporting and uploading and downloading test cases, so that was good.
And it was cheaper.
Yeah, and it was cheaper. Yeah, so we have these tools, and of course the last one is Tosca. Well, not the last one, but the main one, I would say. And the people were quite happy about that, actually. Yeah, But that was not all of it, of course. Remember the value stream integration I mentioned? So we still need to do that, of course. So let's focus on that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, the first thing, I mean, we were test management, right? So we focused only on our products we're using at the moment. So we focused on Tosca and on Jira. And they were like, okay, what's wrong here? What's missing, kind of like that, right?
So that means we have to integrate a lot, actually.
Yeah, it looked like that at the beginning. But let's have a look. So what did we actually need to integrate? So we had in Tosca our automated test cases, of course. And in Jira, we also maintained the manual test cases. And on both sides, we actually had the requirements. So we had like double information in these systems. And we didn't have like a whole overview about automated and manual test cases.
Oh, that means we are kind of lost here?
Of course not.
Oh.
So mentioned as before, we were working then, we found Tosca Connect and Tasktop behind that. And it turned out that it's pretty easy to use it and to integrate it without writing a single line of code. So that was pretty good. And from test management perspective, just perfect, actually. Yeah, but it didn't stop there. Once then there was an Agile team working in the company that had another problem with integration. So what they had, they were also working with Jira, but they were working together with an external company. The external company, however, also using Jira, wasn't kind of connected automatically to it. So they were practically manually copying and emailing epic stories and tasks and bugs from the internal Jira to the external Jira. Now that took like, I don't know, hours of work per week, right? And they were already getting really, really annoyed about that. So we said, yeah, we're from test management, we can do that, right? So of course we integrated this with Tosca Connect. No problem at all. We did that in, yeah, I'd say a few weeks with all the change management stuff around it.
Yeah, but wait. Hold your horses here. I mean, what about data protection? Before you said, you need synthetic test data and whatever, and now we're a bank, we're just connecting with an external company?
Yeah, of course, we looked at this issue too. The focus there was that you can also do filters inside of Tasktop or Tosca Connect, and therefore filtering out what you want to send over and what you don't want to send over. Another thing is, of course, setting up a content inspection proxy or firewall, which we then did. Okay, yeah, that went actually quite well. The project team was very happy about that. And afterwards, I showed them this kind of picture you see here. That is from Tosca Connect. All the connectors you're having, actually, or all the products that you can connect with Tosca Connect. And they immediately went through all these things, and the next thing they wanted then was
SharePoint.
Yeah, SharePoint. Exactly. I was first like, okay, SharePoint, never actually worked with it, so I was like, okay, let's have a look. Let's first do a proof of concept, and that we did. And it turned out that it's actually much easier to integrate than even Jira, because what you have in SharePoint, you have just a list of items that you need then to integrate. And yeah, just for the background a bit, they had this SharePoint site where you can enter ideas of improvement that will get into this list in SharePoint. And then somebody came up and just made copy-paste manually and put it in Jira to actually do the project work on it. As of course, then we set up Tasktop. And yeah, now they're quite happy with it. Again, a lot of manual work saved and more value work to be done. So in the end, at the moment, we're having this kind of landscape. So like what all we did, and I'm sure we'll have some more coming up. And
that's actually a view from Tasktop, that everything is really integrated?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, that's it for that. Let's dive into the key findings. So what keys did we find? Well, we found out that the RBS just took the test management tools they wanted to, so they could work in their best manner with it. So there's no perfect tool for everyone. You have to choose the ones that's best for you, actually. And then what we also had that these tools, over time, they change. Your requirements change, right? Changing from QC to Jira, from Zephyr to X-Ray. And so you have to take care about that too. And the last one is when you have those tools integrated, they will get upgrades. So you have to focus also on these upgrades and make sure that you have a smooth way to do the upgrades. Yeah, that's about the key findings. Now, the benefits we got out of this was we had automated flow. So there was no manual efforts anymore, less errors while actually transferring data and information. And what you also can do is to create traceability reports over the whole value stream. OK, that was the main part. We reached some goals with RBS and private banking services. We looked at the landscape, at test automation, at synthetic test data, and started the value stream integration journey with them. So that's about it. Are there any questions so far? Good. So I hope I could have given you some input about value stream integration. And if you have any further questions, just contact me. So thank you for your attention.